So nama lain of accommodation adalah lodging. Sometimes they use the term accommodation ataupun sometimes they use lodging. So lodging or accommodation is the one who provides shelter for you to sleep in while you're traveling. Okay, so although accommodations can be found in many shapes and sizes, so these facilities have commonly been grouped under the umbrella term of lodging. So there are a few types of lodging or accommodations that we will be discussing today. And we will look into it one by one. So the first one is early inns and also B&B. B&B stands for breakfast. So actually, early inns in some countries people refer to as inns. In some other countries they refer to as B&B ataupun bed and breakfast. Tapi according to the textbook that we are using, so dia kata early inns ni adalah in simple structure that offer meals and a bed in a room shared with other travellers, and it can be in dormitory ataupun mungkin dia boleh juga jadi dalam satu bilik tu ada 4 katil, maybe double decker ataupun 4 katil ataupun 8 katil all the way, and normally it has shared bathroom. Maksudnya bilik air tu mungkin di luar daripada bilik, ada yang di dalam, ada yang bilik air di luar, and normally it includes 1 to 2 rooms with several beds in each room. And as lodging facilities became more sophisticated, the innkeepers often added taverns as gathering spot. So biasanya untuk inns yang macam ni dia akan ada mini pub lah, ataupun mungkin lounge area. So lounge area tu bukanlah macam very sophisticated high facilities, dia lebih kurang macam dia akan ada macam living room, and there will be pantry, and then there will be television, there will be macam couch, sofa, and there will be also there will be also carom board yang untuk kita main carom, main poker and whatnot. And the next one is bed and breakfast ataupun B&B. It began in the small towns and rural areas of Europe. The term B&B ni daripada Europe, and normally it owns and operated by family. Dan kadang-kadang orang tuan rumah tu dia akan duduk sekali dengan dia punya guest. Kadang-kadang mungkin tuan rumah tu duduk berdekatan, yang mana dalam konsep ni tuan rumah normally dia akan provide breakfast kepada B&B guest. Tapi not all activities orang kata handled by the owner. Contohnya kalau macam dia akan prepare breakfast saja dan juga tempat tinggal kepada travellers, dan lepas tu kalau travellers pergi jalan-jalan tu is on their own. They only give guide, provide guide macam mana cara nak pergi ke sini, how to get from one point to another point, something like that. And in some areas, B&B also known as pensions. Okay, so the original B&B were a lot like the inns, lebih kurang sama macam inn, a room or two with a shared bath down the hall and homemade breakfast. And today there are a variety of sizes and service offerings for B&B, like B&B homes consists of 1 to 3 rooms. B&B inns, bed and breakfast inns, consists of 4 to 20 rooms, and they also have B&B hotels, bed and breakfast hotels, consists of over 20 rooms and also small restaurant. And we also have private homes. So the reason for travelers to stay in private home is to feel like local and to learn in detail about the local lifestyle and get a taste of the community life. And it's privately owned by local, usually at rural areas, and travelers can prepare their own meals in rental units. And pioneer intermediary for private home is the Airbnb. Okay, and then safety and security of gas, potential loss of government taxes and impacts on neighbors are just some of the issues to be addressed. Okay, Airbnb, I'm sure you are quite familiar with the concept of Airbnb. Maksudnya tuan rumah tu dia iklankan rumah dia untuk rental but one time rental lah, bukan rental macam sebulan 2 bulan macam tu, tapi dalam 1 hari 2 hari macam tu. And normally kita akan gunakan Airbnb platform untuk iklankan dan untuk pembayaran kepada kita punya guest. Okay. And previously in some countries, kalau dulu if I'm not mistaken Japan, dia ban ataupun dia tak bagi penggunaan Airbnb. Kenapa? Sebab bila kita buat melalui Airbnb, the house is our house. The house is privately owned, rumah kita kan. So kita tak payah nak register apa-apa. The government do not have any medium ataupun they cannot apa orang kata impose a tax. Kita tak boleh, government tak boleh sesuka hati untuk meletakkan syarat. Okay, kalau you nak buat you kena bayar tax kepada government sebab you buat business. Okay, dia boleh letakkan ataupun they can impose the tax and they can impose such policies, but because we are doing it ataupun we are running the operation in our own private property, kalau you tak bayar tax kepada government pun government takkan tahu. Government will not be able to trace sama ada you pay the tax ataupun tidak. So that's why it's quite difficult for the government to trace. So that's why some countries ban Airbnb previously. Sekarang I think Japan is more open lah. Mungkin they find their own mechanism on how to pay the government taxes, on how the owner can pay the government taxes, ataupun mungkin dia dah let go of that particular government taxes, so dia tak kisah. Okay, so sebab tu government do not really approve of Airbnb previously. Okay, sebab dia tak boleh nak collect tax daripada perniagaan tersebut. And then impacts on neighbours and also safety and security. Kadang-kadang kita pergi duduk dekat private homes, we do not know the local people. We do not know who our owner is, and the owner also do not know who actually the travellers are. Okay, dia tak tahu siapa travellers tu, dia bagi bawa masuk rumah je, mungkin psycho killer ke, ataupun mungkin orang berbahaya ke, ataupun mungkin criminal ke. So itu adalah antara isu yang dibahaskan, the issues that been discussed. Okay, and then impacts on neighbours are just some of the issues to be addressed also. Sebab mungkin you rent for Airbnb, rent for private home, lepas tu you buat you punya private party, ataupun you buat birthday party tapi mengakibatkan noises. You ada Airbnb ada swimming pool, so you bawa saudara mara satu kampung mandi swimming pool, so bising on weekend, so it can create disturbance kepada the neighbours. So itu adalah antara isu-isu yang timbul lah. Okay, and then we move forward to the timeshare concept. Okay, timeshare concept is normally adalah biasanya kondominium lah, ataupun maybe penthouse, yang mana rumah-rumah besar, property yang mahal, yang harga dalam 1 juta ke atas, biasanya 5 juta ke atas lah. Okay, the timeshare is actually the concept. Okay, concept of sharing the ownership and sharing the property between a few individuals ataupun between a few organizations. They usually have same amenities found in a typical luxury apartment setting and guaranteed accommodation during a specific time period, appealing to individuals who can plan their travel activities in advance for a set time and place each year. Okay, timeshare konsep dia seperti main kutu, which means kalau you main kutu, you ada a few people in one group, dan setiap bulan seorang akan keluarkan duit. Seorang akan bayar 100, dan contohnya lah 100, 10 orang, you dapatlah a certain amount of money, dan you bayarkan kepada a certain people. Okay, and then semua orang akan tunggu giliran untuk dapat duit dia. So bila time dia akan dapat lah. Kalau time orang lain, you kena bayar kepada that particular person. Okay, sama juga dengan timeshare concept, maksudnya kita bayar, tapi timeshare concept kita bayar, mungkin kita bayar setiap bulan a sum amount of money, but bila sampai giliran kita, when it is our turn, seperti yang dibincangkan selepas dicabut undi, we are not receiving the money, but we are receiving the opportunity to stay at the condominiums ataupun to stay at the resort ataupun to stay at the penthouse or any other luxury accommodation tu lah. Okay, kenapa orang opt for timeshare ni? Sebabnya not everyone would want to own. Kita nak duduk dekat accommodation yang besar dan mewah yang ada lengkap full equipped with full service facilities, but we do not want to pay the amount of the total amount of the property. Kita tak nak habiskan duit dalam 5 juta macam tu untuk duduk dekat satu property. So what we can do is we share the ownership. We use the timeshare concept. Kita bayar bulan-bulan sikit. Maksudnya instead of you bayar 5 juta, so you bayar ikut berapa orang yang you share tu, and then you will get the opportunity untuk duduk selama beberapa tempoh yang you dah agree dengan your group members lah. And kenapa orang opt for this timeshare concept? The first one is because they want to reduce the cost. The second time, the second one is benda ni dibuat ataupun not only digunakan not only for individuals but also for organisation yang mana they usually offer incentive trip kepada dia punya staff. So remember, incentive trip is a trip yang mana kita gunakan untuk kita award kita punya staff. So instead of kita bagi dia free trip, setiap kali incentive trip kita bagi trip yang berbeza, it is easier for the management ataupun for the company untuk beli satu timeshare slot, dan lepas tu kalau setiap tahun bila ada staff you yang achieve dia punya goal ataupun achieve yang perform, so you nak reward you punya staff, you bagi dia duduk dekat timeshare apartment ataupun timeshare penthouse ataupun timeshare resort. So that will save a lot of money kepada organisation.